Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you had a nice tea coffee break. My name is Diksha. I'm a senior engineer at ING for the past 5 months, but I have around 10 years of experience. And I started working with Kotlin about 3 years back. And honestly, I fell in love with it. I don't want to go back to Java. So that's why here I am trying to convince everyone to move to Kotlin. Um, okay. Today I'm going to talk about a little more about Ktor. That's a new lightweight framework that has been coming as an alternative to Spring Boot. But before that, how many front-end developers here? Oh, okay. And back-end developers? Okay, good. Good. So today we are going to, oh, we're just going to talk about why Ktor, basics of Ktor, and Ktor versus Spring Boot, which is, I think, our best friend since the past 7, 8, 10 years for all the backend developers. I've created a small demo that I've already prepared because in 15 minutes there was no time to do live coding. So I'll show you a little bit around how to use the modules in Ktor, and maybe we'll discuss a little bit of trade-offs that you can do, that you need to recognize if you're working with Ktor. So all of us remember Spring Boot. We still work with it. We still enjoy working with it. And Spring Boot and Kotlin, this year they announced that they are even going to, Kotlin is going to provide more support for Spring Boot. So if you are already working in Kotlin and using Spring Boot, good for you. But over the past few years, we have seen frameworks like Micronaut, Quarkus, and Helidon and Ktor. These are the famous ones, but there are, of course, numerous frameworks that have been up until now. No framework has the ability to take over Spring Boot because Spring Boot is just flawless, and they are continuing the support. They are building over the current libraries. So why do I think that Ktor has the ability to take over Spring Boot in a few years? Let's talk about it. Why Ktor? Because Spring Boot is getting easier, and ChatGPT has no challenges because it already knows all the answers. So for smaller applications, when you build large enterprise applications like with the bank or with an e-commerce website, for example, you need to use a framework that is already well established. But why Ktor? If you are a front-end developer, for example, and you're already working with Kotlin, you already have an Android setup, and you want to just spin up a small front end, a small back end for your application just to test it out. Ktor is the framework that will give you the ability without learning the excess abilities that a backend developer will have, or excess extra skills. So backend for front end is a very good use case for Ktor. Also, if you want to, for example, if sometimes we think, right, oh, if there was an easier way just to test this application, we go to sandbox, we write our code, and then we have to fill in all the dependencies, we have to fill in all the auto configuration, and then it goes into the loop, and eventually it becomes a big application that we just wanted to test. So we bring Ktor so that it's um, we can spin up a quick application, because the runtime between an application written in Spring Boot and an application written in Ktor is vividly different. If I even write just a hello world program, Spring Boot will still have auto configuration. You have to write all the controllers and everything, and it will take about 1 to 2 seconds. Whereas with Ktor, it takes less than 100 milliseconds. So that's why Ktor is a very good alternative when you have to write small applications. Ktor is also very good alternative when you want to write applications which requires WebSocket connection. So for example, chat, for example, streaming services. I actually have a little demo later where I created a small game. Maybe if you want to create multiplayer games, those kind of applications can be benefited from Ktor. So it's minimal setup, fast startup. It has a native support for WebSockets. And why is that? Because Ktor is written in Kotlin for Kotlin. So it is already asynchronous. It already makes use of coroutines in the back. So you don't really need to do the reactive programming or go to Spring Web Flux and set up everything for your application. It's already asynchronous. You can take the advantage of inbuilt functions when you write Ktor applications. And if you are a front end developer, then it's easier for you because you can share data models which you are writing in the backend also in the front end. You can also use the validation logic that you're writing in the backend in the front end. And it's a seamless stack of Kotlin all across backend and front end. Next would be some use cases. As I already mentioned, quick setup of backend for front end, high concurrency and streaming services. Reverse proxy is a very good use case because of asynchronous mechanism. It can talk to various backend servers at the same time. Ktor versus Spring Boot, as I already mentioned, that large applications, more configuration, you have to dig deeper, you have to understand, and sometimes you miss a dependency and your whole day gets spoiled. But with Ktor, you write it on modular level. So what you see on your screen, whatever modules you add and whatever code you write is the code that you're going to run. Ktor follows something called no magic approach, that you write something, there's no magic behind, there is no magic behind the auto configuration, what dependencies are coming, you don't have to test it, you just write your code and you run it. But with Spring Boot and Ktor, there are, of course, a lot of differences, but a couple of differences that I really wanted to talk about is performance. As I already mentioned, the startup time, the memory usage, because of Ktor being lightweight, it's you can see if you write in Spring Boot, you have to write this whole shebang of controllers and mapping and application. But with Ktor, it's just a little route and that's it. Your work is done. Dependency injection. Dependency injection is one of the prime topics which differentiates Spring Boot and Ktor, because Spring Boot works with auto configuration, as we all know. You just write an annotation and that's it. Your dependency injection is already taken care by Spring Boot itself. But with Ktor, that's not the case. You have to enable an external library, because up until now, Kotlin or Ktor has not come up with an approach where they give dependency injection inside Ktor. So several external libraries like Coin, Dagger have been developed, which you have to use externally to actually do the dependency injection. So Ktor is, how do I say, it's agnostic to how you write your dependencies. You don't really need to care about what you want to use. Just pick one framework and use it. Also about asynchronous, we already talked about it. Ktor is based on coroutines, and as we all know, coroutines are the hype of the year. And so they are fast, they are reliable, and of course asynchronous. So it gives you more freedom to connect with as many applications or as many users as you want. Also about this, and now we do the demo. Okay. Let's see. Stop it. So I actually created two demos here because I wanted to show you a couple of things. One is that how easy it is to set up Ktor. When you go to your IntelliJ or you go on start.ktor.io, you just choose all your plugins that you want to add, and it will automatically configure everything for you. So when I made this this demo, it configured for me monitoring, databases, serialization, and I just need to write a bit of application code here, and I have to configure all my plugins. And after that, I just need to write the code for the business logic of the application, and that's it. Instead of writing big controllers, Ktor works on routes, and routes can be configured as simple as this. Also, when you write the routes, when we write in Spring Boot, the serialization happens on global level. But with Ktor, you can choose to have serialization on route level. So that is one thing that differentiates Ktor from Spring Boot as well. My application is, I think, already running. Let's see. Yeah, so I created a small game. It's called Tic-Tac-Toe, where you pick a symbol and then you play against the computer. I wanted to also make it multiplayer, but I didn't have time. So for now, we'll just play with the computer. We'll say start game. just pick something, and you see the response time is really fast, because unless I have configured a little bit of computer thinking time, but if I wouldn't, it would be really fast. So I say, yeah, I will. That's sometimes computer wins, but that happens really less amount of times. There is also another demo that I wanted to show, because I wanted to show how WebSockets work efficiently in Ktor, because that's one of the USPs of Ktor. So I have created this application. It's a very simple hello world application. My routes are there. I just echo whatever I receive. And I've created a WebSocket here. It's as simple as this amount of code to write a WebSocket. Whereas in Spring Boot, you have to write big configuration. You have to write a big amount of code, which is not needed here. So we'll just start the application. Hopefully it starts, because it's been giving some issues. Okay, it does. And we go here. It's a simple hello world application, but let's chat with the help of WebSocket. Let's go here, and let's say, yeah, I killed some ports. Oh, oh, oh. One moment, please. I have to find my command. Uh, I think I have it somewhere here. Oh, okay. Let's see. So it's already running, and no, not this one. Sorry, I have to run the other one. It's already running here, and let's say I'll run it here. This is how I'm testing it, and I say, okay, it says the name. That's it. With just simple amount of code, you can write faster applications. You can test them faster. Also, it has a lot of testing capabilities and testing plugins. I wanted to show you how to create when you go to a Ktor project and you say, okay, I want to create a Ktor project. Choose whatever you want, Amper, Maven, Gradle, and then you see the number of functionalities that you get. So the benefit of writing code in Ktor is it's really modular. So if, let's say, security fails, you know where to look at. If configuration fails, you know where to look at. If serialization fails, you know, okay, this particular module is failing. So it's very easy, very fast, but there are also some I would not say disadvantages, but I think there are also some shortcomings of Ktor that we can talk about next. Uh, let's see if we go here. Some trade-offs like dependency injection. It's not inbuilt, so you have to choose a library, and libraries keep getting updated, so sometimes there could be a mismatch. Like I wanted to do a dependency injection demo with Coin, but apparently Coin 3.5 version is not compatible with Ktor 3.5 3.x version, so sometimes it gets a bit difficult. Then the out of box features are also limited. The community support is limited. It's not as big as Spring Boot. You have a smaller community, smaller documentation, and as I said, it's also difficult for ChatGPT to write code for you, because there is absolutely less amount of information for Ktor. So maybe we write more code and train ChatGPT. There's more manual configuration. Monitoring and metrics can also take a bit more time. So, but I would advise all of you to go back and read the documentation a bit so that you get more information. The roadmap is that they are going to come up with more. With first, they are going to come up with an inbuilt dependency injection plugin. They are also going to work on gRPC plugin, observability using OpenTelemetry. Right now, it's with the Micrometer. And plugin registry actually was launched. We were informed that in Kotlin conference that the plugin registry for Ktor and Kotlin has been launched. So that's already there. Key takeaways would be just if you want to write a small app, if you want to test something really quickly, just write it in Ktor. Don't bother writing it in Spring Boot, and don't bother creating a whole new application. Write in Spring Boot. You can also combine it because it gives you Ktor client as well as Ktor server. So you can write everything under one hood in one mono repo, and your work will be done really quickly. I think that's it.